Hi, I'm Dr. Wendy Rowley, and I'm excited and happy to introduce a new series on YouTube for the Wonder of Human Design channel. And this series is called Grids and Time Capsules. I have no idea what's coming in this information. I believe, from what I understand, it will be new. And I'm going to do my best to get out of the way and bring this information forward clearly, succinctly, and untainted by my being. So if I get in the way of the information, don't worry, Aliena brings it up and throws me out a little bit more. Because sometimes when I get excited, when I channel, I don't do new information or names as well, because I get all excited and I'm like vibrating a little funny in the background there. So anyway, I'm going to turn this floor over to Aliena so we keep these recordings short and sweet for you, but also help you have understanding of wonderful and benevolent potentials that are here coming forward for us now, that are happening behind the scenes of all the mess and the chaos that you see on the news and on the TV, and that people sometimes, when you're seeing friends and family, there's lots of concerns and fears, and they don't understand, and they feel the earth is going to, as my grandmother used to say, hit hell in a handbasket. And so you using your spiritual nature, having tools, meditating, praying, being around positive, like-minded people, turning off the news and not reading the newspapers are all really important at this time. If something profound happens, you'll hear about it. Trust me, people do. Or you might get an impulse to go turn on the news, which is what happened to me during 9/11. I was up at the computer working. I had this huge shift in me. I knew something happened. I went down and turned on the TV at 9 o'clock, and there was the World Trade Center tower. So as a collective, we know that we know on some level. So you don't have to worry about missing anything. You just put it out there to the universe that what I need to know will come to me today. Effortless creation. Okay, so I don't mean to lecture or preach, but sometimes when you've gotten older and you have a little wisdom, it's nice to share it. Okay, so let's see what Aliena has to say in this series, and I hope you find the information juicy, uplifting, informative. Please like, subscribe, and comment. I answer questions. I have a website, The Wonder of Human Design. There's a lot of other channeled information there, and we're coming out. We're coming out and bursting through with our information. Okay, I'm going to get out of the way, and we'll keep it short. Oh, good day to you, dearest beings of light. My name is Aliena of Cosmic Service. I am indeed a Pleiadian mother of sound. I came here long ago with many of my kind to lay the human consciousness grid and the other grids that we talk about and others talk about. I work with a large group of interdimensional beings. I work with the elemental and deviant kingdoms. I work with the evolved human kingdoms, and I work with groups of humans that are evolved and interdimensional in your planetary system. For there are those of you that are born and in bodies, and there are those of you who are in spirit, working the puzzle in the spirit. And I'm not talking about between lifetimes. I'm talking about conscious choices to stay and do that. All right. So this is episode 1 of a new series called Grids and Time Capsules. And we wish you to have understanding of what is going on and what is coming forward and what is happening. Lots of people are bringing in lots of great information. And it is almost like you go around and listen to a bunch of information and you're putting together the pieces of a bigger puzzle. This one has always felt that. And in some ways, it's a little bit of a truth. So we have spoken a lot about, she has channels in the Sedona Journal of Emergence and on her website. You can go there and read it. Other people are talking about it. It's that the Human Crystalline Grid that has your light and dark quotient of creating at the level of tribes and nations needs to be scrubbed and clean. So how are you going to be able to do that? You're going to be able to do that because of a new grid that has come online since 2012 that is now up and mostly fully functioning. It's called the Human Creational Grid. Some people call it the Interim Christ Grid. It can be called the Evolutionary Christ Grid, the Soul Evolutionary Grid. It's an interim grid between your master Christ grid, where your soul comes in and sits at in the planet, mostly evolved and perfect, by the way, not like you think you are here. And then the golden information from groups and masters that affect groups goes into that grid. And then you have the interim grid. And it's a go-between grid. And as we explained, if you go listen to Heartfield series episode 20, there is information in there about the grid more and about the other grids that are connected to it, and like how it's like a relay station. So that grid goes to the human, and it's spoken of, that goes to the Human Crystalline Grid. So this grid connects to several other grids. This is the way we present it for your mind to absorb it. We sort of label the grids as different levels of information, but maybe it's just a soup with different frequencies and different creational levels. But we could describe it as grids to give humans a very sense. So their linear mind can put things in their little places to understand concepts that we are bringing forward. So the Human Crystalline Grid can now be scrubbed. The interim grid, for the first time on Earth, is activated. And within that are time capsules that have our information of all the things we ever did during our enlightenment process, such as inventions, such as spiritual truths, such as evolutions of ourselves and our bodies and our minds and our spirits, such as group soul evolution, how that proceeds, such as the spiritualization of a planetary system, and such as the working with the creator's divine blueprint, such as how to take the grids and your whole system and bring it to another planetary system, and so much more. Enough information to last you the next 500 million years. 500 million years. 500 million years. That is the lifespan of that great information, because that's how long we spent doing it. All right. So how this works is you can think of it as by a form of resonance signaling. So there's a mix of energies on your human crystalline grid at the level of tribes and nations. That is a frequency. And when you heal out that frequency and change its vibration, that resonance frequency creates a signal that sets up what it could be like a lot of locks and keys that then shifts the interim grid, the grid that we're talking about, where our solutions are. And that shift causes a shift in another level, and the time capsules begin pumping out their information in a flow onto the grid. It's all frequencies, resonances, light, and signaling. That's based on what you know now. That is a way we can describe it. If you were 200 years from now, we would describe it completely differently. That's how on the edge you are of major discoveries and changes on your planetary system in science, technology, medicine, building, architecture, architecture, buildings, cars, manufacturing, space exploration, so many things. So this beginning first episode is a little bit about explaining, for those of you who might not have heard of it, for those of you who are aware of it, giving a little more detail to make you interested enough to want to come back, because the juicy meat is yet to come forward. And this will probably be about 12 episodes long. And we hope you stay tuned and observe it all the way through, because knowledge pre-known is like that goes into the soul level, into your kosh, has a resonance. And it's a resonance that will get picked up when you run into it again. So it's a way of building a truth highway within your being. You can think of it that way. Because as this one says to her clients, your energy field contains information through your energy, and that energy moves, and it's like a fuel for the body. It is the spiritual fuel for the body. The pulse of evolution in your planetary system is a form of spiritual food for the body at the soul group level. So it applies individually, but it also applies at the soul group level. So the information that we bring forward that's new, that percolates, that is all over the web now coming through channels, is a form of information that builds within you so that you recognize things that are important. It's one of the way the systems work. All right. So the other thing we wished you to know this day before we wrap up on this first episode of Grids and Time Capsules is that is that the grid, the interim grid, once it becomes active with the changes of healing of your human crystalline grid and it becomes active in the time capsules, or in the interim creational grid, which then sends a signal to the time capsules to begin releasing that information. It has an effect on the Christ grid. And the effect on the Christ grid, once the time capsules start pushing information, as some people say, we say scintillating on fibers of light in your unseen worlds, there is a reaction on the Christ grid, or the soul grid, or the soul creational grid is another word we use for it. And it starts something at the soul level, which sends a signal to the divine blueprint of the creator for something else to happen. And we'll talk about that in the next episode. Peace be with you. You are dearly loved. Expect benevolence in all you do. And thank you for your patience with this one as she learns to become a better channel, a more complete and pure channel by getting out of the way. And she did good today, did she not? Thank you, and we'll see you next episode. All right, this is the wrapping up of the first episode of Grids and Time Capsules, a new series, 12-part series on the YouTube channel, sponsored by Dr. Wendy Rowley and the Wonder of Human Design. We need some positive information of something to look forward to in the future in this time, do we not? So I hope you stay tuned, like, subscribe, and check out my other information and work. And this is also coming forward, the heart field healing and the heart tones are coming forward too. So check those out, because those are evolving and getting ready to get up on board on the website and in online seminars for learning. Thank you. See you next time.